Hey yo, what is up FPG fam? Further here and welcome back to another Aether Gazer video. So I know it's been quite some time since I've done any AG content, but of course with everything going on with Wuthering Waves, whether it be the closed beta, the dev interview, or the trailer that they put out, that was of course a priority. And I've mentioned this in the past that I was going to be covering Wuthering Waves content alongside Aether Gazer, so I appreciate all the support on those videos. It does truly mean the world to me. And we'll continue covering both games as well as future games that come out. But it is time that we come back to Aether Gazer, and originally I was going to do a tier list, my own one, talking about and ranking Ling Wang and Jin Woo, but to be quite honest with you, it was going to be relatively the same, the tier list, and then we just put Jin Woo and Ling Wang up in the S+ tier. So there wasn't going to be a whole lot to talk about and discuss, so rather I found this tier list from GAMELEAP, and they went ahead and did an Aether Gazer tier list December 2023 best modifier. So this was before Ling Wang and Jin Woo in 2.0. This was with Thor. And I thought we would react to this one and see how much I agree or disagree with this tier list. And also get your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I want to see how they rank modifiers, the reasons that they rank them in a certain way. And just get a different perspective. So I do hope you enjoyed today's video. I do hope you get some value from it. Let's go ahead and hop in. So Aether Gazer tier list, best modifiers. This guide will go over the tier list for Aether Gazer's best modifiers after the new update and rank them from best to worst. Interesting. Aether Gazer is a fast-paced action combat. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go by that. The tier list is divided into 7 ranks, ranging from SSS highest to D lowest. The ranks reflect the overall power and effectiveness of the modifiers in battles. Here's a breakdown of each tier. Interesting. Let's see what they have to say. So in the SSS tier, they have Thor at the very top. So this I wouldn't argue with, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if I'd personally put Thor at the very top of the tier. I mean, possibly. Just really depends on, you know, what we're talking about specifically. But yeah, I wouldn't argue if you want to put her in the highest of tiers. She is a fantastic modifier. She does tremendous amount of damage. She has arguably one of the best teams on global currently. She has invincibility frames all over the place. Unga bunga. Yeah, SSS tier, I'm not going to argue with that. But let's see what they have to say. The Thunder Deity with overwhelming power, capable of turning the tide of any battle. The newest modifier and not one to miss. However, she is really reliant on her weapon. I'm assuming they're talking about her signature functor. And Osiris. We're going to talk about that here more in just a second. With them, she's currently the best DPS. I don't agree with that. Without, she quickly drops to A tier. I definitely don't agree with that. So let's break this down. She's really reliant on her signature weapon. I don't agree. I think that her signature weapon is really good for her. It allows her to do more damage, but really relying on it is not something that I would state. I would say that it is good, it is recommended, but it is not a necessity. And then Osiris, really relying on Osiris is something that I agree a little bit more with, but really relying on Osiris is, yeah, I would agree with that more than the signature functor personally. And then with them, she's currently the best DPS. I would say she's arguing for one of the best DPS, but I would still personally put Hades above her, even in that Osiris comp. I still think Hades is a better DPS slightly, but she's very close. And then without, she quickly drops to A tier. So without Osiris and without the signature functor, they're saying she goes from not being in SSS, not being in SS, not being in single S, all the way to A tier. She drops 3 tiers without those things in place. I don't agree with that. Maybe she drops a tier or 2, possibly, but not 3 tiers. That's pretty crazy. So what they stated here about her is I disagree more than I agree with. But at the same time, her being in SSS is not something that I disagree with personally. I think if you want to put her in the highest tier, I'm not going to argue with that. Moving on, they have Dark Star Hell in the SSS tier. Now, this is something that I could see people putting Hell in the, highest of tiers because she does output crazy amount of damage. But at the same time, that's a really decked out Hell you need. Right, it's not a Hell that most people, especially casual players of the game, are gonna have. So I don't think I would personally put her in the highest of tiers. I would probably put her 1 tier below. But once again, it's a bit nitpicky. I'm not gonna argue with you. This is not like a very egregious, placing right here. It's something that's fine with me. Hera being in the SSS tier, of course. Hades being there, of course. And then they have Shinri Tsukuyomi in the highest of SSS tier. I don't agree with that. I think she's very good. I think she can hit hard, but I don't think she's SSS tier. I don't think she belongs in the same tier as Hera, Hades, or even Thor for that matter. Hell, maybe in the same tier as Hell, possibly, but even that is a stretch to some degree. Once again, I think Tsukuyomi's really good, but I don't think she deserves to be in the highest tier, right? Now, moving on from there, we have the double S tier, and we have Oceanus. This is something that I agree with, Oceanus being in double S tier, but what I don't agree with, once again, is Tsukuyomi being above Oceanus. At bare minimum, I think they're on the same tier, at bare minimum, right? But Oceanus being in double S tier is not bad. I think that's a fair placing for him. What do they say about him? Water deity Oceanus disrupts enemy strategies with strategic control over the battlefield. Interesting. Top tier melee DPS. Yep, that is heavily reliant on dodges. Yeah, to a degree. You definitely want to make sure you're dodging with them to get the most out of them. So not a bad description there. Asada being in the double S tier, I could see that. Arctibus Poseidon. Yeah, she's really good. I'm not gonna argue there. And then Living Soul Osiris in the double S tier. Once again, I think that's a fair placing, but what I don't think is fair is Tsukuyomi being above Oceanus and being above Living Soul Osiris, especially a really, well-built Living Soul Osiris. With Thor, Tsukuyomi is definitely not better than that. So that is a very interesting placing for Tsukuyomi. But once again, the double S tier looks fine to me. I don't see anything too crazy here in the double S tier. I think everybody is pretty fair in this tier. Moving on to the S tier, we have Sakura, of course, because of her versatility, her supporting capabilities. I don't mind that. Anubis being in the S tier. Interesting. What do they say? God of Death delivers powerful strikes and debuffs to enemies. Another great melee DPS unit, but lacks a good skill chain partner. Well, of course, I mean, it's so bad, but that doesn't mean he should be in S tier, and is somewhat reliant on his functor. Somewhat reliant on it. But once again, lacking a skill chain partner shouldn't have him in the S tier, and certainly not below Tsukuyomi. Once again, bare minimum, they should be on the same tier. I think he belongs probably in the double S tier with Oceanus and Living Soul Osiris to a degree. I don't think he belongs in the S tier, not alongside Light tier and Sakura. I think they might have did my boy Anubis a little dirty here, in my opinion. I think he got the short end of the stick on this tier list. I'm not too keen to this for my boy Anubis, but we'll let that one slide. Moving on to the A tier, so they don't have it laid out like they did the S and double S and triple S. They kind of put everybody in the same tier on the A tier here, kind of listed them. A diverse array of modifiers, each excelling in specific roles and contributing to team synergy. Okay, Jin'ei being in the A tier, not going to argue there. Title song Poseidon in the A tier, interesting. Bazembo, okay. Nawada, Countertide Leviathan, S Leviathan, I'm not going to argue there. Oh, we have Eshu in the A tier, interesting. Athena? Wait a second, hold on. Hold on, Enlil and Marduk. Okay, they have Athena in the same tier as Eshu, S Leviathan, Nawada, Title Song Poseidon. Wait a second, you're telling me that Athena, they did my girl Athena dirty here. You have Athena in A tier with those modifiers, below Light tier, below Sakura, below Anubis, below Arctibus Poseidon, below Tsukuyomi. No, that's egregious right there. That's borderline blasphemy. They did my girl Athena wrong here. No shot. In the same tier as Title Song Poseidon, Nawada, S Leviathan, Eshu. In the same tier as Marduk. No. They went ahead and did my girl Athena dirty on this one. This is probably the biggest disagreement that I have so far with this tier list, is Athena here. There's no shot. She should definitely, bare minimum, be double S tier in my opinion. At the very, very, very least, S tier. No way she's A tier. Okay, that is a bit egregious in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. That's kind of nutty. That's kind of nutty. I can't agree with that. All right, moving on to the B tier. That kind of took me back. Solid modifiers with decent strengths, but may lack the versatility of or power of higher ranked counterparts. Okay, you have Comet, you have Bastet in the B tier. Wait a second, you're telling me you have Bastet in the B tier, but you have Title Song Poseidon in the A tier? And Nawada? I mean, I know Nawada can hit hard in certain situations, but you can't tell me that Bastet's below below Eshu, below these? No. Below Enlil? No. You have S Kagasuchi. That one kind of blows me a little bit. You have A rank for Tanti. Okay, Scotty, to a degree. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, Nayroy down here below them. I mean, I know Oneiroy's a bit niche, but she's like arguably in the best team in the game, and she offers a lot of really good utility. You're telling me she's below Title Song Poseidon and Enlil and Eshu? I don't know about that. Heimdall? Hold on. Now, okay, now that's a bit egregious as well. Heimdall down here in the B tier, below Title Song Poseidon, below Eshu, S Levi. There's no shot. Really? Kingu, okay. A rank Osiris, okay. A Shu, and then Kali. I don't think Heimdall belongs here. Maybe, hard maybe Bastet. No, not even Bastet. Bastet belongs. Bastet belongs to be in the same tier as Enlil, and Heimdall bare minimum same tier as Enlil. Like Enlil, Bastet, and Heimdall are arguably some of the best A ranks in the game. So they should be bare minimum all on the same tier. There's no shot that they should be below. And then Oneiroy, just, I know she's niche, but the utility she offers in that niche is far too great to be in B tier below some of these modifiers. There's just no shot. There's no shot, in my opinion. Oneiroy, Heimdall, and Bastet, they need to be bumped up for sure. 100%. That's interesting. And moving on to the C tier, we have A rank Tsukiyomi, Vidar, Hoder. I would probably put Hoder in the B tier, to be honest with you. Hoder's kind of sneaky good. She kind of hits hard. Apollo, Leviathan, okay. And then moving on to D tier, modifiers with limited impact on battles, either due to lower stats or less versatile skill sets. Okay, Sobek, Hera, Tengu. I would put A rank for Thanti even higher than that. I mean B rank, Beaver. I would put Beaver even higher than that. And then Hermes? There's no way you have Beaver and Hermes in the D tier and you have Kali in the A tier and A Shu in the in the B tier. No, there's no shot. There's no shot. Beaver and Hermes definitely need to be bumped up. They're not below Apollo, Leviathan, A Tsukiyomi. No, they're no. No. Okay, this was a very interesting tier list to see by GameLeap. I mean, there are, I would say for the most part they got things somewhat correct, but there are some egregious placings here. First one being Anubis, in my opinion, I don't think belongs there. Athena is just blasphemy. That's 100% blasphemy. I think Heimdall and Bastet being here is blasphemy to a degree. Oneiroy a bit, and then Beaver and Hermes down here. I don't think they belong to be down there as well. But once again, this was just for fun. This is just to see how other people are placing these modifiers. And once again, this is from 2023 December with Thor and that brand new banner. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about this list and where you would place these modifiers. But once again, this was just for fun, to do something a little bit different for Aether Gazer. And I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.